Hello, everybody, and we are live.
9:30 p.m. 3 notifications.
Welcome to Friday Night Live. Phil is having some technical difficulties, and we'll get to him as soon as he has them sorted out, as soon as he uses his hand signals to say he can hear. But welcome to everyone. I'm here with Jennifer Cashed, our the blind bard, and with Ed, and what's the cat's name there, Ed?
This one's Jamila. She just jumped up on me and meowed. So
Noah?
Jamila.
Genoa. Okay.
Jamila. Jimila.
I love that name. That's so cool.
She's a captain in the old Merry Navy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you watch the stream last night, Ron?
Which one?
Ed was on Stan's channel.
No, I didn't watch a stream because I was down in Baltimore at Justin Sorois's Sickest Witch book signing. Down to support him, and
Cool.
We always try to support everyone who's involved with the convention, as everybody well knows. So that's what we did.
Yep.
And
I went down and saw him at No Land Beyond tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Last appearance on the Sickest Witch tour. No Land Beyond is a new paid sponsor now, by the way. They've got a poster up and they've got the cards. They are a brand new gaming cafe / bar down in Baltimore.
All right.
Well,
nice. It's always great when we can add another supporting retailer. And, with that being said, there's, even though Phil is desperately trying to get his technical difficulties sorted out, as they say in the WWE, the show must go on, no matter who falls from the rafters, right? So we're going to bring on our guests tonight.
Ooh, we got
Let's welcome Chris and Heather O'Neill from Philadelphia's own Ninth Level Games.
Hey, everybody.
Hello. How's it going?
camera,
Viewers may know them as the Kobolds Ate My Baby people, or the Mazes people, or the owners of Yeet. Or does Yeet actually get owned, or does he own them? We're not sure.
Yeah. Yeet's an independent operator that he's just trapped here.
I see. Does he meet the criteria of an independent contractor under Pennsylvania state law? Does he pass the three-part ABC test?
We don't pay him more than $600 a year, so we don't
have to issue a 1099.
We don't issue him a 1099.
Okay, well, I know we have two fans that are bigwigs at Pennsylvania Labor and Industry. You don't want them coming in and telling you that, despite that fact, he's your employee and that you have to pay taxes on him. But welcome to the show, Phil. Anything?
Yeah.
Oh.
Phil's not moving. He hears nothing. Okay.
Phil's lost in a bubble.
Phil, do you hear anything? No, Phil hears nothing. His eyes are moving around.
I hope Phil never fixes this and we just hit back to Phil 400 times. And it's
going to be like when we had Aileen Reynolds on here that one night. She couldn't get anything working, and she kept asking to join, and then she would just sit there and stare at the screen because she couldn't hear anything.
But we could hear her because she was yelling at somebody off the screen saying, "I need you to help with this."
That's pretty good.
I don't know, but
that's frustrating.
So
it is frustrating.
Heather and Chris, you have a lot going on over at Ninth Level Games. You want to talk about some of that?
Yeah, we do.
We'd love to.
Well, yeah, first of all, if you aren't familiar, so Ninth Level Games has been around for quite a while, and Kobolds Ate My Baby was the first game that ever started the company, and definitely one of our flagship games. But then pre-COVID, 2019-ish, Mazes was created, and that's kind of been another big line for us. And I love that it's just Phil on screen right now. Anyway, so we have some products. I think you got some of them already. We have Handbook of the Player, which is a player's handbook for mazes
Player.
that just came out.
Yep.
And then we have, which
This
is
was our
our zine quest.
This was one of our zine quests from last year, and the other zine quest was Starley Davidson. These have both come out recently.
Yeah. So
I didn't
Starly's
tell
kind of a
you,
standalone.
You printed them backwards.
Yeah, I'm
You
sorry.
printed all the
Yeah.
text backwards.
Thank you. Yeah, we didn't. How we didn't notice that? That's so weird.
So weird.
How about now? How about now? How about now? Let's. There you go.
There it is. There it is. Magic. Must have been that one copy.
That one copy.
Yeah. Well, this is good because then my face is not next to that troll lord thing because I sit shorter than Chris. So
The Starley Davidson is a polymorph game about motorcycles, heartbreak, and tarot cards. You play. It's kind of what's the Emotions movie from Pixar?
Inside Out.
It's kind of Inside Out, but like a more adult version of that, where you play the women inside Starley Davidson, who all happen to be part of a motorcycle gang.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you basically play her emotions that as she's going through a breakup, and it's no prep, and you use any tarot card deck you already have to build a story. So that's kind of a cool, fun one. And then this Mazes supplement.
A handbook for the player is a book that takes all of the classes that have existed in various versions of Dungeons and Dragons through the years, and makes them for the Mazes system, so that when you're playing OSR games, if you want to use the OSR classes, the classic classes that you expect, this was a fun book to make.
Yeah. And then more Mazes stuff's coming out. We did a whole City of Skull setting book, which is very pretty and kind of cool. So it's like basically about the city of Skull, and that goes with mazes. And then we did a screen that has an adventure in it as well, so that's pretty fun. So a lot of things, of course, because of tariffs and just all this stuff coming on, a lot of it all got delayed, so everything is coming out in October and November. So we've got a cool screen with like a little moving wheel that kind of shows the GM and the players what's going on, which is kind of cool,
with all of the relevant information that you might need on the inside.
Oh, very cool.
For the GM.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice big type too.
Yeah,
And
it's a 6. It's like not too.
Yeah,
it's 9 inches, 10
it's 9
inches.
inches tall.
So you can see over
and
it,
it's
but
6 inches.
I mean, I can read the type on the inside as opposed to some of the micro type we see on
yes.
other screens.
Well, we're also not super young.
I
like we got to make sure we can see it.
I'm a person of a certain age, and so our stuff continues to increase the size of text. And the screen comes with an adventure called Tales from the Burning Parade, which is a short adventure that takes place in the city of Skull. So that you can use it. You can use your screen right away.
Yeah. So it's been busy with that, and then because of like I said, that was something we were planning to print most all that in the U.S. And then we did Thunder Road Vendetta RPG. And that got delayed a little bit, so that just came out as well. So we have that, which is based off of the board game. But if you don't know what the board game is, it's basically Mad Max, is the idea there. So that's our other big release. That'll be our, you'll see it a page. It's just coming out now.
It's our big fall release.
Yeah.
And
Nice. Now you have a Kickstarter going now, correct?
Yeah, we're busy.
we have a backer kit. We have
You have a
backer
backer
going
kit,
now.
correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have a crowdfunding going on right now. So it's for a game called Wrestlemania, which here we go.
Oh.
You're too much of a coward to buy this game.
Yes.
Exactly. The tagline is the evil Ultra Dracula has taken over the peaceful country of Greco-Romania and used his dark magic to become immune to weapons. So the only way to stop him is with professional wrestlers. So it is pro wrestlers fighting against Ultra Dracula.
And
that
yeah,
sounds
it's
like fun.
That's
it's fun. And we do a lot of mashups here, but this is actually like a boxed experience that's got a campaign and all that. But it's a Metroidvania, meaning that you actually are traversing Ultra Dracula's castle and going back and forth and finding new things as you go through, and your character might die, and you have to come back and avenge
I'm gonna
them.
go with a I'm gonna go with a deep cut here, but do you remember the old Avalon Hill game Wrestling?
I do remember wrestling because I'm ancient. And I worked at ChessX in the 90s when they were a distributor. So
Yeah.
old Avalon Hill titles I can picture on the shelves. Wrestling
Just
was
making me think of that. I had that game for a long time before I finally sold it. But yeah, you created a wrestler and you had cards that you played, and my favorite was always elbow off the top rope. And I'm just picturing that with Dracula, So.
Yeah. So
in Wrestlevania,
yeah.
you create a wrestler, and you're part of a lineage of wrestlers, which is part of the storyline of actual wrestling is about that, and you have a special edge, so that's similar to mages, where there's something that you're better at than other people, and you also choose an entrance song. And you create a finishing move, because that's what the wrestlers are known for. They have a named finishing move.
right.
I am Van Helsingr.
Yes,
a
exactly.
Heavy metal.
Yeah, it's a perfect
artist
character. We have a character in the
with,
game called
Van Halen
Professor
music.
Von Wrestling,
Yeah.
which is spelled HWRSETLING. Wrestling. Professor Von Wrestling, so that we don't.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah,
He knows all about wrestle and Draculas. Is what he knows.
Well,
it's exactly how over the top you think it is. It is in the Kobolds Ate My Babies vein of, you're gonna come in there and be this over the top wrestler, and you're gonna have this over the top match where you're either fighting Ultra Dracula. Well, that's the end game, but like minions in his castle, and it's very, very, very.
I got you.
Over the top.
That's really that's really interesting, and I backed the Kickstarter at your top level there that you had there, and invite everybody to join us. I think Phil has something to add.
Oh.
Phil, what are your thoughts on this? Phil, that's fascinating. Your insights are always fascinating.
Oh, I love it. It's
Ron,
so good.
I
Ron,
think
did
he's
you
playing
post
the role. He's
link
playing
to the? Did you post the link to the Kickstarter?
Yes, I will. I will.
That's such
I think
a good
Phil is
joke.
pretending to be Ultra Dracula, and he's not amused that we're talking about.
So good. It's such a good joke.
What was the old computer game from the 80s where you would talk to somebody, and if you didn't really say what you were supposed to say, it would be like, Phil is not amused, or whoever you were talking to is not amused, or hey, they're interested in what you're saying, and they'd like to subscribe to your newsletter. And then it was, forget what that was, but there we go. Here's
too good.
Oh, and the problem is, there we go. We're gonna put the link to this in the chat.
Yeah, and it's live through the 6th of November, so we've got a little bit of time. And then we didn't put it into the schedule yet, but we might throw in a couple demos at Page. Worst case scenario, you can roll up a character at our booth.
I think that would be great. Now, at Page, one of the traditions is one of the game masters, DJ Johnson, runs the curse of Macho Man Randy Strad.
See, he's ready to go.
Perfect.
And he has a 3D printed ring, and he's got like an Andre the Giant 3D printed miniature that comes out to fight you in the game. And then he stuffs himself, and he's been putting on a little weight. He'd be the first one to tell you. He stuffs himself into like this child-sized Randy Macho Man Savage costume around the convention center to the music when he's running through his table.
Yeah. He's so ready.
I can't wait to talk him into running some WrestleVania.
You know what? He'll be down for that. without question.
That sounds fun.
So he'll be very
Anybody
he'll be
that's
very into that.
interested in learning more about WrestleMania, right now.
Well, we did an AMA. So on that backer kit, if you look in like the community section tab, there's a stream section, so you can watch a couple actual plays, and then there's also an AMA that deep dives a little more into the actual like mechanics, game, how does the whole thing work.
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff on that link that you can just learn more about the game.
And anybody that backs it immediately gets a copy of WrestleMania -1, which is a playable demo.
Quick start adventure.
A quick start adventure that you can play right now.
Nice.
Yeah, so you get that in PDF form right away, and then obviously the printed.
Really? So I can get that right now?
Yeah. So
Okay.
you will. There's some updates that have some backer only spots that you could access right now, or the next email or the next update, it'll be like, hey, each time I say, don't forget, you get this thing.
I may be pinging you because I am technologically troubled. So, in fact,
and Backer Kit is new. Backer Kit is getting into a lot more role playing for crowdfunding, but the system's slightly different. There's more like tabs and things you can look at, but it feels like a Kickstarter, but there's a little bit more going on in some of the tabs. So I can see
Phil's got something important to say here. Phil,
he's ready.
Phil, you there? Phil, still, Phil.
You're making Chris laugh too much.
Oh my God. There's nothing I find funnier than just going to the well and just keep going back to the well.
Yeah, going back to the joke. Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been doing Cobalt Ate My Baby jokes for over 20 years, so obviously this joke is very funny to us.
Phil. You see, Phil can't hear us because it shows that it's showing that he's only got the camera, is what it's showing. So
he's not even able to defend himself.
No.
Speaking of somebody who can defend themselves, as I've often mentioned on this program,
here we go.
Jenn often is drinking prior to the show.
It was a shot
and gets a little angrier as the show goes on.
Angry?
Yeah. Well, you're kind of a
You want to see angry? But... Check this guy out.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
There he is.
He seems angry, but he's still cute.
Well, look.
I stole him because this was going to be a present for my friend's child.
Well,
and
but then you decided that you needed to keep him.
I needed something for B-roll. I needed like a B-roll monster, and this was the only thing I had. So I'm gonna have to go to your site and purchase a new one so I can give it to him.
Well, Jenn, you may not be aware, but the actual Yeet is on the screen right now.
Oh, cool! Hello.
We love it when people think that the Kobold dolls are just Yeet dolls. It makes my tiny little heart grow very large.
It grows very large now.
I am super excited to be coming to Paige as a guest.
Right. So as you can see, we have a collage of proof of Jenn hitting the sauce before the program.
Yeah. Photos don't lie, but it was just one shot of Mitchers. I swear.
Yeah, but look how happy you look in the after
I'm
shot.
Always happy, Ron.
Especially with a shot of Mitchner's.
Yeah, it's great.
It's Friday night, and there's nothing ahead of me except this stream. Well, why wouldn't I be happy?
Jenn would have fit in at Gamehole Con, which Ron, Phil, and I just
Wisconsin,
got back to.
When did you go to Wisconsin?
One of the things that Alex does is he actually owns a bar, and so the Wednesday before the convention, he invites folks over to have drinks and eat food. And Ron definitely had several drinks. He was wandering around.
That's totally false.
Hey, that's
you
Wisconsin
know that.
Sober.
Anybody who knows me
sober.
knows I do not imbibe. So
and you were just high on life.
No. No, I was probably high in sugar count for sure. I was probably wandering around in a brain fog from too much sugar. You have any comments on that, Phil? You were there. Phil, any comments at all? Phil, Phil, anything?
Karma's gonna get you, Ron.
Catching on.
Hello, Phil.
He's catching on.
Hold on.
We're getting a reaction.
The
There you go, Chris.
My goodness.
The
Now I got
problem-
another cat. This is
problem with,
Quartermaster Oblin, Jamila's
the
sister.
problem with going to Game Hall is it's in Wisconsin, and if you're going to be drinking, you should just go to Wisconsin because they know what they're doing. Pros.
I'm sure they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I
Pros.
was only at Game Hall Con 1.5 days a couple years ago, and the hotel lobby outside of that Allegiant Center was just like bottles of alcohol everywhere. I was like, this is like a college party. It was
Phil,
insane.
can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you on my
Oh
phone.
my gosh.
Wow.
Okay, so Phil can hear now. We were fascinated by your earlier commentary. We kept going to you, and
Yeah.
we thought there was going to be commentary there. What do you think about the close-up view of Phil?
I just wanted to replicate it myself because I like it. I wanted to go get a hat.
I'm going to try to
Get a
not
Phil
make
hat.
it look so weird.
Too late.
That's okay. You're here. That's all that matters.
There you go. Positivity.
Yeet is reminding me of the ventriloquist Nina Conti. I don't know if you guys have ever seen her. She has a variety of different acts, but one of them, she just took her very first puppet, but she just took a kid's toy that was a monkey, tore out a bunch of the stuffing and uses that, and she continues to use that, and it's a very funny act. But yeah, somehow you operating Yeet reminds me of
Which is funny because the Fat Wizard literally does the exact opposite of ventriloquism. There's literally no ventriloquism. He doesn't even hide that he's there sometimes, which is weird.
You know, Chet Minton, the artist, says Ron has no problems attacking people who can't defend themselves. I see him do it at cons. Well, you're usually the target, Chet. So yes, you resemble that remark. And then he brings up a keen observation, questioning Jenn steals kids' toys. That's what it sounded like to me.
I'm gonna replace it. He doesn't know about it yet. It was supposed to be a Christmas gift. So I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna buy a completely new one because since I've used it, I can't in all good conscience give it to him.
Phil, if you're walking towards a bathroom right now, I'm gonna mute you again.
Once
I am not.
accepted a kobold.
I thought he was in like a
your
90s
heart,
police
you
video.
can't give it up. You think you could, but you get one, and then you're like, nah, he's mine.
You're like, this is for me. Yeah.
Yeah, he's cute. I was
Yeah,
trying to
they're-
rationalize buying it. I'm like, I'll just give it to Baby Man.
I'll share a little story before we ask Chris to talk a little bit about his work with Page's diversity initiative on the same page. But we have a professional puppet maker who vends at Page. She's actually from Delaware County.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to eating them.
So apparently one of the puppet of one of the folks, his puppet partner, broke our code of conduct policy.
Oh, one of the puppets did?
The puppet did.
Yeah, so I find out about it, and I walk over to the booth, and I sit, and young lady who runs the company. Her name's Ronnie DeFalco. Really awesome person. She was actually the fabricator of Gritty as well. She fabricated Gritty for the contractor that had the job of making Gritty, and she was the lead fabricator on that. And I go over and I say, "Can you explain to me what happened here? We've got an upset attendee, And from what I hear, you, and I point to the helper, not the puppet, you apparently made some comment about the woman's hair. And they both the owner and the helper both look at me and go, no, it was the puppet. And I go, listen, I'm going to cut through this right now. Okay. You know, you didn't know it was, I forget the puppet's name. And I said, okay, if we're going to play this game, hand the puppet over. I'm ejecting the puppet. And they both looked at each other. I'm like, no, I'm serious. I'm taking the puppet.
Yeah.
And the puppet is now banned from the convention. And the helper got very upset because it's his pal or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I dealing with here? I was like, okay, here's the deal. The puppet's not allowed to comment about anybody's appearance.
Right.
Well, it wasn't negative. I'm like, well, it was perceived as negative, and perception is reality. And you're out of here, buddy. And the puppet's like, oh no. I'm like, listen, I'm going to punch the handler of the puppet now in the stomach unless we get the puppet under control.
Is that part of the code of conduct?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
the moral of the story is Ron had to eject himself
Yes, well,
over the puppet.
well, I didn't actually hit the puppet. There was a threat to hit the handler of the puppet. And I wasn't sure, I wasn't sure of the reality of the situation. So, but let's see what else here. We've got Zane McGowan on the line, and Phil, your head's cut in half there. There you go. You got a spot down. There you go. No, there you go.
A real Teach vibe.
A Teach vibe.
Ron, I think you need to have a one of those meetings with everybody, like Philly cheesesteak and everyone, just to remind everyone what the rules of the convention are.
I post them all the time, and our staff knows what the rules are. They know what their code of conduct is.
I just think I think Jen's right. You could sit down Phil E. and Gritty and Ben Franklin and all of the various puppets and give them all.
Listen, we have to get.
They need sensitivity training.
We need to line up some of the special guests first for this training.
Yeah.
And that'll be on you, Ed. You're the special guest coordinator. So, we're going to have Stefan Picorni there. So, you're going to have to keep tabs on him the entire time.
Have you guys ever seen the Alamo Draft House PSAs? They're wonderful.
Oh, PSAs.
They do basically they do a thing. It's Alamo Draft House is a theater chain, and they do PSAs often featuring celebrities or whatever, where they basically are telling people to be quiet and behave in the theater, and they're hysterical, but also they take it seriously. I've seen people get ejected from those theaters.
Listen, there was a serious breach of code of conduct at another convention recently, and I think we should bring Chet Minton on a future program so he can tell us what happened to him and share how he was almost a victim. He was almost a victim. So we'll bring him on to talk about that.
Drag him in.
I saw the post about that.
Oh, it was troubling. But hey, let's get to we do have Jen Glazer. We can always refer anything over to her because she's been known to
hers knives.
She accidentally stabbed her husband not long ago. So he snuck up on her when she was carving a turkey and startled her, and something happened. True story.
God.
True story. I'm sure he deserved it. All right. And we've got Scott Bombeck. He wants Pickles to be allowed back into the convention. Pickles, the Boston Terrier.
I do too.
He's an actual Boston Terrier.
Hey, we voted on it. Remember, Ron?
He pooped on the floor. He pooped on the floor, and then
his
owner stepped in it, and Pickles has been banned as a result.
But remember during the fundraiser, During the fundraiser, you said if we meet our goal, pickles will not be banned anymore. Remember? Who remembers that?
I don't remember, and Stan hasn't confirmed he's received all the funds from his emergency fundraiser. So,
well, I remember.
Listen, you remember nothing. Okay, let's be clear.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah,
Yeah. I actually do want to hear. Honestly, when I was down at No Land Beyond tonight, I actually had a very good discussion with one of the cashiers, and they were talking about diversity and how they're actually writing some adventures that featured diversity stuff. And I thought having you guys talk about the diversity initiative at Page would be great to hear.
Sure.
Yeah, we can super talk about it. One of the things, being local and being able to be involved with Page, one of our asks was to, kind of work towards something that's important to us. Ninth Level as a company, one of our primary focuses is on bringing everyone to the table. And we do that as a game company by making games that are diverse and speak to different, diverse, inclusive, and accessible, and trying to bring games to make it easy for people to get to the table. But we have to do more than that in the community, and there is a committee working at Page whose purpose is to help bring down barriers to bring other people to the show, especially people from marginalized backgrounds, from different income levels that are different, bringing in people to the show, but also bringing in designers that may not otherwise be able to come, to create a more welcoming environment to drive that. And one of the nice things is, this is being funded. There's actually activity to kind of drive, bring some people, bring in some of the local community. We were actually just talking with Ron earlier about.
I'm not technically on the committee. Chris is the one on the committee, but obviously by proxy, I'm helping as a local. So one of the big things I've been doing is as a local company, we already work a lot with the schools and the teen after school programs. So talking to a lot of them, and then I'm planning to reach out to a lot of local colleges, local high schools here, just to get that younger group in, but also get people who would never even be able to go to a con, and even PAX Unplugged being so close, they might not be able to afford PAX Unplugged. They might not have transportation to get down there. So, the idea is this is only, within 5 or 10 minutes, there's a bus stop there near Page. So if you live right downtown in Norristown or some of the other areas near King of Prussia Mall, you can take a bus there and actually get there in not that much time. So that's actually very beneficial for the area here.
Are there any particular events or anything you have planned for Page that are reinforcing this initiative?
Not that I know of. The focus isn't on trying to. The focus is on trying to remove barriers to get people to come, because the reality is the diversity. Everybody wants to do the same stuff. They want to play the same games. They want to hang out. It's just about, do you have the ability to do it?
And you feel comfortable.
Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel safe? So we are working on a couple of things to kind of, increase that and do that. Luckily, the greater Philadelphia area is a far safer place for a lot of marginalized people than other areas of the country. But we still have a long way to go.
Sure. I was wondering if you had any specific examples of anything we're doing. I mean, certainly, you're just talking about, trying to make it so that people can get here, who otherwise might not be able to or aware. But I mean, I love the idea of making, gaming at any particular table feel like a safe space or anything like that. And I didn't know if you had any specific examples.
The example is the effort is to take away the economic barrier and to advertise to underrepresented communities who maybe aren't already coming to Page.
Yeah.
One of
the hardest things. One of the hardest things with this is that it's difficult to how do you market into communities that you're not already a part of? It's super difficult. And so, I mean, part of it is about reaching out and providing some resources to the local game stores who are more feet on the ground.
Which you guys are obviously doing. But like the other thing I talked about is like, there's a bunch of, different types of people in the industry who make RPGs that probably don't even know this convention exists, right? Because they're kind of coming from a different space. So there's there's that angle of it, and letting them run their events that speak more to like inclusion for the people who we're trying to get to come, right? So, we're trying to do, we're focusing a lot on the old school stuff, but it's like our table is going to have a lot of different things. We have games for queer people. We have games that have all kinds of different people represented on the covers, right? So when you walk through there and you're like, oh, I see people here that are like me, I feel more welcome. And something I run Unpub, which is Unpublished Game Network events. And one of the things we started noticing before COVID, it was like 90% white guys of the whole convention. Of a certain age, right? And then over the years, like 3 years ago, it was like people were commenting. It was like, maybe only 50%. And then it was like, wow, I really feel like I can see the diversity because our board made a concerted effort. There were more women on the board. There were more people of color on the board. We started noticing it more and then like making sure to outreach to those groups. So I think like to your point, this will only help over a couple of years. It will be a similar thing that we experienced in the last couple of years. Yeah.
Well, another thing I would suggest too is maybe reaching out to the local state VR agencies because they have, they work with people who are visually impaired and have all sorts of disabilities, and everyone enjoys TTRPGs.
Yep, I'm writing that down. That's a good idea.
And listen, I think the key here is that there is a strong desire and a dedication from the convention to financially support making these things happen. And the one thing we're trying to eliminate barriers first, and the first barrier is the financial barrier for many. If we can eliminate the financial barrier, then we can continue to work in other areas. Like we've changed the percentage greatly of how many female special guests we have, right? We've more than doubled that percentage from year 2, and it's I think it's quadrupled from year 1, and we're just going to keep working in that direction, and because it's the right thing to do, and I've often said this on this program and or other programs or just in general. All gamers are aligned when they're around the gaming table having fun. All the other differences, the political divides, all that other stuff goes away if the focus is on the fun at the table, and we have to make people feel welcomed at the table. Prior to the show, and Jen, I hope you don't mind me sharing this. But prior to the show, Jen always comes. Well, no, if she'd said no, I wouldn't have done it. Yeah. But prior to the show, Jen always comes on early. She's always in when we chat, and she had a question for me. She said, I'm concerned. And Jen, you can go ahead. You tell it. You're going to tell it the way you better than I can.
Well, I was thinking because I had signed up for a lot of games, and I said, I know you don't speak for, other game masters except for yourself, but what's the general consensus? Like what do most people allow at their table? Because I'm visually impaired, so I need special tools. Like I use the Meta Ray Bans to read character sheets that otherwise would not be accessible to me. Or if I don't have that available, then I use my husband as my eyes. But I'm going to be coming in blind, so to speak. I'm going to get a character sheet. I don't think I'll be able to get one in advance. So I'm going to get a character sheet and we're going to sit down and start playing right away. But I'm going to still need like a minute or two to just look it over and read it over so I know what my abilities are. And I said, I've got Pixels dice, which do talk to me, which is great, but they use my phone. The Meta glasses also use my phone. So I'm like, I hope that's allowed because, I don't know what I would do. I mean, I can also use dots dice, and I've prepared for that. And I even have like a set of dice, like a regular set of dice that I would use if I absolutely had to. But Ron's like, no, he's like, listen, people need to make accommodations. So
yeah, I mean, it's a reasonable. Listen, it's beyond a reasonable accommodation, right? If we want to use that technical term, but the reality is, what I said is, you don't have to worry about a DM pushing or a game master pushing back on you, because if they do, they're not going to be there.
Yeah,
well, I'm not going to tolerate it. And Jen, we know we have two visually, impaired people who come to Page at a minimum. Okay. We have two, and people need to be open to whatever needs to happen to bring people to the table. And,
I was just worried because of the whole AI thing. I know everyone is so anti-AI, but I use it just for like accessibility reasons.
It's AI for content creation that people are against, not for creating accessibility.
There is a problem right now, which is that people are angry at certain uses of AI, and I mean AI is problematic in lots of ways. But there has a lot of people that they have a very simplistic view of it, that it's just bad. I say to people all the time, they're like, well, it's just if you're doing it for art. And I'm like, well, anyone that uses Photoshop is using AI tools.
Yeah, I think it's so nebulous. The word AI could be so many things. So I think that's part of it, is either people don't know, or when they hear AI, they think it's the thing that they, don't agree
it's
with.
It's a hot button issue.
It's a hot button. It's a jargon. It's like a thing right now. And I think it sounds like from what you're talking about, I don't see that being an issue at all.
Yeah, this is absolutely an accessibility issue.
You're not asking to pay for the game in Bitcoin.
Right.
Nope. You're not like, oh, can I use this, and then it's going to write a story
but she uses art. Bitcoin to buy shots.
So one thing I would suggest is, anybody who feels comfortable, has any sort of necessary accommodation that could be cleared up with communication, would be one thing people don't take advantage of, that I know some of my longtime players at cons do, is the fact that tabletop events, the thing we use for our event scheduling, will allow you to message your host. So, like, for example, if Jen felt comfortable, she could send a note and say, hey, is there any way I could get my character sheet a little early? Because I would say 90% of these people are using pre-generated characters. I know in the past, I have sent out character sheets early to people who have asked about it, and a few times I've just done it otherwise.
That's a good idea.
By the way, Michael Doherty in chat is saying, I only play with my wife as a blind player because I can't find those pixel dice. So, Jen, if you have a source for those, maybe we can help Michael out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes. If you go to gamingwithpixels.com, there should be some on the website. And I'll actually look. I have a contact
You
that
know-
I can
you
ask.
know,
Yeah, I
and
kind of
Michael,
remember
you know what, Michael, we'll get you the dice. When we get off the program today,
Yeah,
we have your contact information. The
I'm on
convention
the-
will get
yeah.
you the dice.
I'm on the website. It looks like they do have some. So at least
Yep.
D20. That's cool. The other thing I was curious about, Ron, because we ran into this at Unpub, where we mostly started as a board game playtesting
Right.
convention, and then we added more role playing. So we started. We realized people might not know what safety tools are, so we started printing a thing of safety tools,
Mhm.
and to your point, accessibility type stuff, like what do I do if this happens to the GM? And we just, again, we had a small number of tables, maybe 8. So we put one on every table, and it was like set there.
Sure.
Now, did they read it? I don't know. But it was like, oh, I'm a GM. I don't know what's going on. While I'm waiting for my players, I can kind of read this. So I don't know if that's something maybe you could be like,
Yeah,
oh,
we could
yeah.
do that, but generally we send out a note to the
Oh,
game
okay.
masters ahead of time
Yeah.
with that covers a variety of things.
Yeah.
And again, the code of conduct is in there, and we can add
But
something.
you could add something
like
this where you're
basically,
not thinking about it
if you're
right now,
faced
but-
with a situation where you have to think about what should be done, call
Yeah.
this person, right?
Yeah, perfect.
And that it's a general catch-all. We have some people with some pretty strong opinions in this. We've got Ed Lopez. What kind of a-hole would you think would push back on accommodating people?
You would be surprised.
Yeah.
Well, also, I will say that sometimes people do it without thinking. They don't realize that's why, like, for example, Jen mentioning, like, if she were bring a tablet and was doing her character and rolling dice on the tablet, some GMs might not feel initially comfortable about that because they want to see the dice and things like that. And they don't realize that she's not doing it out of convenience or potentially to cheat, but because that's the way it makes it so she's able to play. So we need people to be sort of thinking one step ahead and saying, hey, I gotta know why that person's doing that, or is it really affecting the game?
Yep.
You know,
And I know a lot of DMs don't allow phones at their tables just because it can be distracting if it's not on silent mode or whatever.
I have a player who plays little mini games on her phone while the game is going on if she's not personally involved, and that can be distracting. So
so is it game with pixels or gaming with pixels?
Game with pixels.
Well,
it's game with pixels. So
gamewithpixels.com.
Yeah, let me get gaming with pixels off there, because I'm not
really
kidding. When I went there, I got rickrolled
Ah.
just now.
sorry.
I was like, So
Hey, one thing I'd like to bring up on the safety issue. Hey, Phil, you remember when we were running Wardens, the deck that they gave us?
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure, I could. The deck of player safety. It's a great safety tool. It's adopted. It was created by a buddy of mine, Tom Nelson. Very easy to use. It takes 60 seconds, minute and a half to use at the table. And Kobold Press and Wardens had adopted it as their official safety tool. I would recommend it to anybody that is looking to run games in a public setting, because it's very fast. Ed, you got to use it. I've used it in the past. If that was your first time, I would look to use for.
I liked it.
It's very
basically the deck
very
has
easy.
a whole bunch of things that they anticipate that players might find disconcerting, like violence against animals or children, or even spiders or clowns or something like that. And then there's also a whole bunch of dry erase blanks. And then there's a bunch of cards that say anything goes. And what the Wardens team did is they said, give this to the people at your table, tell them to pull out a card, not say anything about it. They can pull out an anything goes card. They can pull out a card that bothers them, put it in the center of the table. Then when you got all the cards, you shuffle it up, the DM looks at it, and then makes an accommodation. So, like, for example, if somebody says, I don't want to encounter spiders, and you have a spider encounter, then you're like, okay, I'll adapt that. It'll be, wolves instead or something else. And, it made it easy. And I had a couple of people at tables who did pull things out. Now, fortunately, the adventure I was running didn't have any of those things in it, but it was like, okay, good to know. And in fact, in one of them, in Wardens, you're playing a character of different alliances, and you don't know what other people's alliances necessarily are going to be. And one of the things I pointed out is like, hey, all of the alliance missions are can be achieved concurrently. Nobody's competing against anybody else because one of the players had pulled the I don't want to have any PvP card. I wanted to make it clear, without exposing that pull to everybody that, hey, you can all do these missions. They're not secret. They're not competitive. Everybody can get it done. So
That's cool.
But I like the thing, and yeah, Phil, I knew that it was one of your friends in development, which is why I wanted to feed the ball to you.
Yeah.
I got a link here. That's cool.
It's cool.
So one of the things I did is I took a quick look at the TTE website and our schedule, and this is just a highlight of some of the seminars that we have coming. Now, obviously, we're running a whole bunch of different games. Like Ron is running Badge Quest, which is probably the closest to a G-rated game you're ever going to see. Very fun game with Girl Scouts.
Yep.
So we've got people running Shadow Dark and various horror games, but we've also got some nice seminars like Gaming is for Everyone, Inclusivity in RPGs. That's being run by Heather Ashcraft. We've got Gaming Beyond Sight, run by our very own Blind Bard, talking about accommodation at the gaming table. We've got Healing Through Story, tabletop role-playing games as trauma, working through your problems. That's Adam Erskine is running that. And we have designing matriarchal societies in RPGs, the idea of not always having the king or the male figure. And that's another Heather Ashcraft seminar. And that's just 4 off the top of a quick search. So we are trying to get some content out there that is directed at this sort of thing.
Cool.
All right, I'm going to shut up now. I'm sorry.
These dice sets, it doesn't look like they have full sets available on this Pixel.
Yeah,
Ron is in this
available.
game with Pixels. He's been down the hall.
Spiral,
He's
yeah.
lost. He's lost.
Ron, I will reach out to my contact there and see what I can do.
Okay, I'd like to get a full set and for Michael. I can put a 20-sided die in my cart, but I can't put anything
Full
else. So everything else says unavailable. So when
Yeah,
you go
they're
to,
having problems with the tariffs over there, so everything is kind of pushed back, but I'll see if there's anything they can send out.
yeah, and if they have a set, I see the D20 here. It's single die, 12-sider, sold out. 10-sider,
I saw
sold
a lot
out.
of 20s on there.
Yeah, so Michael, it's not us, but we will do our best to get that for you. And just to close a loop on the Deca player safety, we have them
Oh, cool.
up at our registration desk. Any DM can come up and ask for them, if they're going to use them. And some DMs or game masters at the convention do have it that they use it in their description. It's not a requirement as of now.
Oh
And,
yeah, sure.
yeah.
But that's kind of a cool thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're available. We picked up a few there.
Most of our games
Mhm.
include a
Like a section,
include
a quick
a
section.
quick safety section, so that
Yeah.
if you have the game at the table, you have the pieces that are necessary to have those conversations. But it's always nice. To let you know, I run a lot of games, and what we're running, we don't, we always make it clear that, that it's an open place and that we have those, so that if anyone, especially is feeling that way, that they could just, opt in, as it were. We try to make it as easy as possible.
Yeah. No, yeah, we're always all about that. I mean, we have some games that are much more silly, like Kobolds, but there could still be something there that people don't want to do. And then there's other ones that are a little more serious. That
As
we
long,
like really
as long as
push
we're
it.
on the topic,
Yeah.
what are some of the games you're running?
Well, the main thing we're running the whole weekend is the Mazes game, because that is kind of your old school fantasy dungeon crawler. It's going to be kind of hitting the home place of everybody there.
Speaking to the heart place of the Page community.
So we do have a lot of sessions of that, and then I'm pretty sure we have a few Kobolds Ate My Baby classic, and I don't remember if I threw Thunder Road in, but I feel like I would have. And then we talked about maybe I add WrestleMania in for some early demos to get some people to try
That'd
that
be really
out.
great.
Why not? And
we're going to run a special event
Yeah.
where Yeet is going to answer your questions, your deepest, darkest questions about role playing. And we're going to run a game of the Mad Maze of the Murder Mage, which is a live audience participatory game that we've run the last couple of years at San Diego Comic-Con, where you literally the players, the people in the audience are solo adventurers who come up on stage and are going through a Tomb of Horrors level dungeon where any mistake is going to lead to their death. But everyone else gets to see all the progress that has been made. It's a super fun time.
Yeah, it's super fun. So basically, okay, I might go up second and I make almost the same mistake the first person does, but by the time the 20th person goes up, they know, okay, don't touch the cursed item. I gotta go left, not right. I gotta do this, whatever, to get through the castle or whatever the adventure is. So it's pretty fun. So we're doing that as a big event. And then I think, are we doing Yeet versus the Appendix N too? I thought. I think we are.
Maybe.
I think we're doing 2 Yeet events, 1 big game event.
Yeet versus the Appendix N. Yeet explaining the plot of famous works of fantasy and usually getting them wrong.
Being a big, kind of a comedy level show, I would say that is. But yeah, we kind of thought we'd focus on, instead of just doing 25 different games, we would do a lot of sessions of the same couple games. Mostly what we do.
Now you have your own sort of dice system, right?
We do. Polymorph. The polymorph system is what powers almost all of our games, and it uses D4, D6s, D8s, and D10s.
Can you tell us how it works?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. All the different games have different emulate different things in different ways, but the core system is the player explains what they want to do, and then the GM is going to call for them to roll against one of the 4 things. So in mazes, it's books, boots, blades, and bones. Each one is a different series of numbers. You're not trying to roll high or low. You're trying to roll specific numbers. So for books, you want to roll 2 or 3, but for bones, you want to roll 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. And so the small dice are better at the earlier, and the large dice are better at the higher spreads. So without having a whole bunch of numbers that you have to keep track of, you can roll the dice and you know instantly whether or not you've succeeded or failed. And then you have advantage or disadvantage based on different kinds of things that your character, what your class is or edges, depending on the game.
Basically, what you're going to do is when you're creating your character, you're going to at that point, you're going to decide if your character is a D4, D6, D8, or D10 character. And then that's the only dice size you ever roll against that same chart of numbers, right? So if I'm a D4, which is what is the Paragon?
The Paragon.
Kind of the wizard, right? You're going to be really good at books rolls because you need a 2 or a 3, right? 50% chance. But actually, in most of the games, if you roll the top number of your die, you succeed. So a 4.
Depends on
Depending on what's going on. And then if you roll a 1, usually something bad happens unless your character could do it.
If it's something your character could do.
Yeah. So basically the 4 is you're going to be very good at your rolls.
You're the expert.
If you do a book type rolls, right? So the idea is when you're making your character, you're asked questions about what you want to do in the game that hopefully guide you towards the right dice size. So you're doing the things that you think are cool that you would naturally do anyway. It's kind of the idea of the system. And Mazes has, I feel like, the most options in it and the most
in Mazes, you have a character class and you have
more
3 edges. There's differentiations. You know, and you can have different lineages because it's a fantasy game. And there's hearts and stars. So there's some other economies that are going on in the game. Where our easiest games are literally, you know, tell me, you know, it's almost all completely narrative. The decisions that you're making when you're creating your character
except
that
for
are
the role,
determining. Yeah. And then it uses this very simple, very fast dice system, so that you're almost constantly rolling a die, like on your turn. So it keeps you completely engaged and moving. So, and that, you know, is true whether or not you're a cartoon princess or a wrestler that's fighting Dracula.
Right. So you're still rolling a lot. You still have dice, but you're not worrying about, do I have a +1? You're not doing math. Basically, those math edges you get are narrative words that you can then be like, well, I have stealth, so shouldn't I get advantage instead of I have a plus whatever in.
That sounds so much easier than memorizing a whole bunch of modifiers.
Yeah, so that's basically what it is, and then the GM doesn't roll either, so there's
the
all
GM never rolls
facing.
dice, so it's always constantly the game doesn't slow down. You know, and you know, part of the core is this idea that like there's 2 things that every RPG player wants to do at the table. One is I want to roll dice, right? You know, rolling dice is fun. And the other thing is I want to argue that I get an advantage in this situation. And that's kind of basically the core of the game. So it's like, well, I'm fast, so I should get advantage in this situation. And it's like, yeah, but you're typing. You don't type fast. It's like, oh, but I'm a very fast typist. All right, I'll give you advantage. Roll 2 dice, right? You know,
that kind of thing. But yeah, so it's a simplistic system when it comes to like the crunchy part of it, but it still does every single thing all the other systems do, just in a simpler way, I guess you would say, a quicker way.
Yeah. That I think that's perfect for me because I hate doing math. So,
well, we'll have to get a game in, Jeff.
Yeah, I'd love to try. Actually, we have Mazes, Cobalt Ate My Baby, and it's like we haven't tried it yet, but it's on our list of things to try.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And who knows? Maybe I'll play it at Page.
Yeah, I would say.
Perfect.
We definitely have some games. We can make something happen. So.
Now, what about that other? You had another game, something and Scum?
Rebel Scum.
Yes. What is that one?
Rebel Scum is it is the anti-fascist space opera game. It is in a galaxy a little too close to home. It takes the ideas of Star Wars and it makes it explicitly anti-fascist, where you literally power up your characters by punching a Nazi,
space Nazi.
I mean, you can punch.
Well,
punch
yeah,
Nazis.
You can, but you know,
we've had some.
Yeah. Well, it's basically it's off-brand Star Wars, but it is.
Well, it's actually on-brand Star Wars. The problem is
not
that
licensed Star Wars.
the audience, the Star Wars fandom has had a problem where people are missing the point that those movies have always been about fighting against fascism. So our goal was to create a game that it explicitly puts you in a role that you're fighting fascism.
Yeah. So
It's
again,
very satisfying to punch a space Nazi.
it is,
Yeah.
it's a little simpler rule set than Mazes, but it's still got combat and it's got a whole bunch of other things in it. That
And
are
it's got
fun.
space, which is my
Yes.
favorite. That's
It's got
awesome.
space. Everyone, you have a spaceship in common, so everyone creates a character and you create a spaceship together.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
running the spaceship is really easy because you just roll your die and the ship's die
Okay.
against the ship's resolver.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into getting that one too because that sounds so interesting.
Yeah, and that one, so we've been showing kind of our core, like larger books tonight, but like Rebel Scum and a few of the other titles like Pigeons 11 or Sentai and Sensibility are part of our fun shot line, fun one shots. So they're a little bit less to read, a little more high concept, a lot more high concept. Because the point is you're gonna go do a one shot adventure in this world and it's going to be about this and that's it and you had a fun time. So we have a number of those out. I think we have about 6 of those out with we're planning to put 3 more out next year as well in that line.
Oh, cool. So will they be available at Page?
They will be.
Yes, everything that is out by Page will be there.
Yeah, and we are also exhibitors.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll be.
We're not just running games.
We'll be there.
I can't wait to visit your booth.
Yeah, and we're very excited about that. To have the resident game company of Philadelphia with us, means a lot. It means a lot to the convention. It means a lot to me personally, and
at Page,
I'm so happy.
Probably the closest people.
Yeah, I mean we are I think 5 or 7 miles from there from where we actually live. So,
well, you're gonna have to fight Bob Watts for that from two thin lines because too thin coats. He used to own Grenadier.
Oh yeah,
and in Heartbreaker and President of Raul Partha and all that. He lives like super like he can walk there, I think.
Oh, that is closer. I didn't know that he lived there.
Yeah,
he's from that area. I mean, when you think about it, you think about where Grenadier was. It was right there in Phoenixville.
It was in Phoenixville. Yeah. Yeah, when I worked for Chessex in the 90s, it was in Phoenixville.
Yeah. Did you do anything to the guys from the guy at Clash of Arms when you were there? Did you ever block his access and not let him leave his office or anything when you were at Chessex?
Which guy are you talking about?
Clash of Arms. They were in the same building as Chessex.
Oh, that
Clash of Arms games. I think the guy's name was Ed. Well, here I'll give you another one. You used to
Chessex. Are you talking about Ed Erkis? You talking about Tone?
No, he was there. It was
Theater of the Mind Enterprises.
Yeah, but I think he was also Clash of Arms games. Let's see.
I would say Ed worked for Chessex at one point too.
Yeah, and then
probably why you got the spot there.
There used to be the scratch and dent section at Chessex.
Yes.
Right, and there was a window. There was a window at the end of that aisle, and there was a dumpster below the window. And I'm 100% sure because if you ever looked out that window, the dumpster was full of scratch and dent stuff. Stuff was just getting tossed.
My first Origins was Origins 94 in Philadelphia, where I was the Chessex scratch and dent booth. There was the regular Chessex booth full of dice, and I was the guy in the back where we built shelves, and it was just all the broken merchandise that we were selling for half off.
Well, let me ask you: when you were at Chessex, did Sophie Candler ever torment you during your time there?
Oh, well, I mean,
absolutely.
You know that Sophie and I go way back.
Yeah, I know that. That's why I bring it up. And
Sophie, yes, Sophie worked there before me. Because she had, when I worked there, she had moved on to working at Games Workshop.
Oh, she was already at Games Workshop at that point.
Yeah.
We'll see her at Page. She surprised me and poked her head in last year on Saturday.
A bunch of friends that we have in common. I'm trying to get them to come out.
It's interesting. She wasn't the sole inspiration behind our gamer assistance program, but she was definitely in the thought process when we decided that charitable initiative, because changed her job, changed her profession, went back to school, and was just she was struggling to make ends meet, and things like car repairs were hard. And I'm like, I'm tired of seeing this. This is not good. Let's do something that can help people in that sort of financial situation. And I'm very proud of the work we've been able to do with that. So, but yeah, she was definitely, between her and Darlene, they were the, Darlene the artist, they were the two that we, that really was focused in on going, this is just bad stuff. These people shouldn't be struggling like this just to get things done. And we've been able to take that weight off of a lot of people's plates over the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's been good.
Cool.
Matt Elias says he can walk to the convention.
Oh, you win.
But Matt,
6 miles.
But Matt, more importantly, you have to make the spreadsheet for us with all the restaurants that we can distribute to the attendees. That's the most important thing.
You know what I wanted to ask you, Ron, because having been there a couple of years, have you guys ever gone to, what was that insane museum that's in
the American Amusement Museum?
In the same complex there, there's this odd museum that's like just
it's one of those oddities museums.
Yeah, it's got all kinds of stuff, like just it's a strange thing, and it feels like it matches up with like being a weird side quest.
I have not been there.
The American Treasure Tour is what it's called.
It's like in the same parking lot as the Expo Center.
It's owned by the family that owns the Expo Center and Arnold's and the movie theater and all.
Okay.
But it's a
even just go look at the website.
Ed was there last year, and when he came back to the convention, he was shirtless. What was that about?
Yeah, I was about to say, it is a unique experience.
Okay, so he's been there. Yeah, so it's right there. Yeah.
And
Stan.
Stan, the cartoonist. We appreciate that, and we were glad to be able to help. So
I love Stan. I love Stan's work. He's the only person more associated with an exclamation point than me.
I do like
we generally don't talk about the people that we give grants to, because you don't like to publicize here's your giant novelty check. Sorry, sorry your house burned down. Here you go. Come up to the stage. Like, we don't want to put people's troubles and misery on the front page of what we're doing, but it's always a real honor to be able to help people out from the industry who have a need, and that's important, and that's part of being a good person. You help those who need help. So like what we're going to do is we're going to start a little fund to get Phil a larger window for his camera, because he's like half man. He's like Harvey the prosecutor from Batman. Yeah.
Oh, I think you were talking about Harvey Birdman.
No, what's his name? What was Harvey the half face or whatever? Harvey
Two-Face.
Yeah.
Half man. That's
yes.
He's 100% man. He's just half good, half bad.
There's
trying to
if only the owners of the convention center could open a hotel in the same parking lot.
I mean,
that would be awesome.
And it's just going to be filled with all the junk from the American Amusement Museum, it's going to be scary.
No, that would
feel like
that would be nice. There is one across the street, but it's kind of far to actually walk there. It's like over.
Well, people can get to the one from. People did walk to the Hilton Garden Inn
Yeah.
and the
Like I
Hampton.
said, that's not that.
I don't advise it. I don't advise it. We have a shuttle that goes back and forth, so use it.
Oh, that's great.
Matt Elias is laughing about people failing their nerd proficiency check. Listen, does anybody from the in chat have any questions for our friends from Ninth Level Games before we let them go? I know Yeet has to get to bed.
Yeah, he's already asleep.
He's already
He's
asleep.
snoring down there.
He's already asleep, is he?
Is he dreaming about King Torg?
All hail King Torg.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we actually have a not super early morning, but a kind of early morning as we're going down. We're going to follow your path, Ron. We're going down to games and stuff, and then we're going to go to Game Castle in College Park tomorrow. So we have.
Oh, great.
We're taking a little Baltimore trip and then coming back up.
Yeah,
running some Thunder Road, running some Wrestlemania.
Nice,
yeah,
nice. I was just down at Games and Stuff yesterday.
Yeah.
To see Justin Sorois and Paul and crew down at Games and Stuff. They're great people.
Yes.
And Justin Sorois, real salt of the earth kind of
there he is.
guy. There he is there. And I had to do 4 takes of the picture because he was very concerned with the expression on his face. In fact, he thought he looked too happy in this one, and I said, I'm not posing anymore. So, it's this one or it's nothing. So, but we like to support good people in the industry, and if we can't support our friends in the industry and good people in the industry, who can we support? And how can we ourselves as a convention ask for support? You know what I mean? So that's that's really the way I think about things. But let's see. Any questions here? We've got Matt Elias saying his next character is going to be a halfling named Harvey Halfman.
I love it.
Okay. Oh boy. And,
you're not living that one down.
And just a little shout out to Matt. I'm streaming this live from a computer I bought from him, so it's working. It's working great. So, how about Jen? Do you have any questions for our guests before we let them go?
So, yes. What was your favorite RPG moment
ever?
Yeah, like for all the games you've run or played in, do you have a particular favorite moment that just sticks with you?
Ooh. So many, probably for you, Chris. Run out the guns for you.
Yeah, it's probably running out guns. It's actually this goes back to the 90s. It was at Origins in 1997 maybe. Probably around there. Iron Crown, the makers of Rollmaster, did a weekend-long game. You could get into the game every 4 hours of a pirate game called Run Out Your Guns, and it was the most fun I've ever had at a convention.
I still have a copy of that back here.
We have 2.
I got 2 of them.
We got 2 over here. Yes. Anyone would like to see it?
It's sounding like that should run at page 4.
Oh.
Yeah, it might be worth it because and a lot of the locals that worked at Chessex with him were the guys that were all there that will like remember that and love that too.
There was a GM and he used to live in Jersey. I wonder if he could get him out and run it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Well, who was it?
I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah, you have to ask the other guys.
I haven't seen him in 10 years.
Yeah, we'll talk about that and maybe plan it for next year. That sounds pretty fun. Yeah.
All right. Looks like we've answered everybody's questions. What do you want to leave us with tonight?
If you want to have a great time, you back WrestleMania right now. Get yourself a copy of WrestleMania -1. if you're looking for a long-term way, if you think Kobolds Ate My Baby is fun, if you've liked that game at all, Thunder Road is the game for you. It is the game that captures that energy. Just instead of being kobolds, you're cars. I mean, it's
Yeah, and basically, I know it's a different link, but our website is just 9thlevel.com. There's a million things on there. We will be exhibiting at Page. We're also going to be at PAX Unplugged, running a lot of things. We're going to be running a lot of Thunder Road there. So check that all out, and then we'll see you guys in a couple months.
yeah, real excited, real excited.
All right.
It's just
That,
ninthlevel.com.
that works. It redirects.
I mean,
What is it?
redirects, but
Yeah, that one works. It's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We are going to let you go. It's, our friend from DM Tales, Wes Allen, well known as an egg thief.
Right.
He he just chipped in, but thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll see you in January, if not sooner.
This
You
was
got
great.
it.
All
Thank
right.
you all. Thank
Bye,
you so much.
everybody.
Have a great one.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. We are on, that was a good show. We got a lot of good information there.
We sure did. We-
Phil, are you discombobulated from your technical issues? Or are you prepared to take us through the typical run through at this point?
Yeah, sure. I have a couple things written down. I was working on a run sheet, got away from me, but just take a few moments here, friends, and try to get some of the more up-to-date information in your hands. Tracking registration, we are nearing 1,200 badges, as a matter of fact. We had recently announced 1,100, but we're creeping up on 1,200 at this point. So people are coming in and adding badges, and that's a good thing. So events are currently over 1,100 events in the system. Plenty of tickets to still grab for many good events. We have snuck in a couple of additional events. Some special guests have asked to add a couple of games, like Bill Savasek. He's just added a new game, a new session, and we've switched around a couple of other games. Heather Ashcraft has added a game of Dark Space. So if there's a specific system that you were looking for earlier and that you could not find because they were sold out, you should give it another look, because you may very well find a diamond in the rough, as we have snuck in a couple of additional sessions for some pretty sought after games and some pretty sought after game masters. So please
looking to try and get some more Daggerheart on there.
Yes.
We just added a new Daggerheart event this morning. One of the attendees, submitted the game, and I literally just now clicked the button to approve a new Call of Cthulhu game from Dimitri Del Castillo. And my understanding, he's going to be running 4 Cthulhu games at Page. So that's the first 4 that he's submitting. And speaking of Dimitri Del Castillo, he's going to be one of our guests next week.
Awesome.
That's
yes.
And we may have a big announcement for next week as well. So we're going to get into that. Phil, I'm going to jump in for a couple seconds here. Our friend and guest, Joe Block, who also serves as our vendor room captain, he's got a new Kickstarter that's getting ready to launch for his Adventures Dark and Deep system. Of course, Joe runs BRW Games, and many know him as the Greyhawk Grognard. He's going to be running a Kickstarter for his book of Fell Wisdom. And in fact, he just checked in and said he's going to have a pre-edit copy available so people can actually put their grubby little fingers on it at Page. And you see Joe there. I can tell you that we're getting very close to Levi Combs's adventure, The Iron Cobra of Helgrim Hall, that is heading to print. There are still, this is a Page exclusive. You'll only ever be able to get it at Page, and there are still some quantities available for those who want to pre-order them. So, that's a pretty big deal. And, there's been a lot of clamoring about Tomb of the Ancient War King, the adventure I wrote, and, in collaboration with Chet Minton doing all the art. I can tell you that those clamoring will get some news very soon about how they can get their hands on it in the upcoming future. And that'll be an announcement maybe next week, probably the following week on Friday Night Live here.
Yes, all good stuff. Just to piggyback onto that, we still have Philly cheesesteak plushies available. There's still a couple left. So you want to hop in there. That will absolutely not be reproduced. It's not like a module that we can reprint if we decide in the future. The plushie is definitely going to be a one and done. So never to be seen again. You want to grab it if you're interested.
I mean, they're handmade. Right?
Yeah, completely
handmade in the United States.
Yeah. It's not just a limited run that we ordered from some company. This is literally every single one is being handmade by one person. So a very unique item indeed. Moving along here, a couple things. We did announce a couple of special guests, namely James Introcaso from MCDM. We were able to have a chat with him out at Game Hall, and he was happy enough to decide to join us for Page. And so please look, hopefully, for some games of Draw Steel that are going to be added to the system. As we asked James if he was interested, he said yes. So if you want to try out Draw Steel from MCDM, I know that's very highly sought after right now. You're not going to find it offered at a lot of cons. I don't think I saw a lot of Draw Steel offered at Game Hall. So you might very well not only get to play Draw Steel at Page, but you get to play Draw Steel by the person who led the game design for the entire system. So that's pretty interesting.
Oh, it's good to see we have Dave Rosser, Phil's number one fan in the chat.
Hey Dave, how's it going? Yeah, Dave's one of my con buddies that I usually hang out a lot of cons with, and he was at Game Hall, and he joined us at the Page party that we had out there, and he's a really good guy. So hi, Dave.
Phil, I'm just curious. Are you going to invite the person from MCDM on the show to chat with everyone in the upcoming weeks?
I would hope that's definitely a possibility, and we'll have to see if James can join us.
Yeah, he is hyper local to me in terms of proximity, so I suspect he's going to be along for the Page ride moving forward. We
Awesome.
Keeping you up, Phil?
Yeah, no, it's just been a long week. So, and I was out for a couple of drinks with my wife and some teacher friends too.
You know who else had a couple of drinks tonight?
Oh, here we go.
There we go. Yes. Look how happy she is in the after picture.
I'm always happy to see you and to participate in this stream.
Yes. All right. So what else do you have, Phil?
Well, we let's see. We added a couple of artists, namely Brett Chumley, to the show. When we were out in Game Hall, we had a convo with him. We talked to Matt Sargent, who's already signed up, to get him even more excited than he already is regarding Page. And I don't know if we mentioned Rob Conley as one of our guests.
Well, we haven't yet. He hasn't been announced yet. Bex, our marketing person, they are out in Germany for the big game fair over there.
Spiel Essen.
Yeah. So, some of these special guest images are going to wait until they get back.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. I really like the way the show is shaping up in terms of our special guests. Frankly, I think our vendor room and vendors in general it's going to be outstanding this year. Our auction is going to be outstanding. We have a lot of great items already submitted for the auction, including a lot of things related to artists and special guests. There's an art board where special guests who are artists are drawing, one of a kind pieces of art on there, surrounded by the Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo logo. And that'll be something that'll go up for auction. That'll surely be a sought after item. Super excited about that. I got to see a preview of what's on there right now. Our art director, Chet Minton, is heading up that project, and he's putting other artists in headlocks and giving them pink bellies and noogies and making sure they're actually drawing on there, and we're very happy about that. But it looks great. I got to see that, and it was good to see that last week and hang out with him at Gamehole Con.
One of the things also, I mean, Ron, Phil, I don't remember, but the demo area we have is new, right? That's a new thing for the con.
Well, yeah, we have a demonstration area in one of in this vendor hall E, but there's the vendor area is kind of creeping out into the main gaming hall now. So you're going to see folks like Monty Cook Games. They have a large area where they're going to be selling products from it, but they're also going to be running games within their area. You're going to see, our sponsor for this program, Troll Lord Games, while they have an area in the vendor's room, they have their own space to run games. We have space set aside for several other groups, like Matinee Adventures, who we haven't really talked about much, but they're running several games at Page, and they have their own area. So yeah, it's excellent. I'll tell you one thing: our miniatures area is really rounding out. It's a vast improvement from last year. I'm excited about that, and our board game library continues to grow. In fact, we just added Quest for the Dungeon Master, the old TSR board game for made for people 6 years old and up, but it was kind of a kid's game, but a bit of nostalgia for some of us old heads. We just added that to our board game library as well.
One of the things I think Page is going to be really good at this year that it was not bad at last year, but it's getting even better, is the walk around player. The person who maybe signs up for a couple of their favorite events, but are just like, oh, I want to go try something out. They can walk into the Shadow Dark game. They can walk into one of these demos, the board game library. There's always going to be something that you can do at the convention, even if you didn't get into, one of the games that you were looking forward to. There's going to be something going on.
Yeah,
I'm
I
looking
agree.
forward to that.
And anybody just walking around at the convention, down the dark stairwell, our convention long Shadow Dark event is right there. You can jump in at any time. It's free of charge. New adventurers enter every hour on the hour of real time, and you can form parties with people. You can plan to say, hey, let's go in from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on this day and see how we do. We'll have a posting board at the tavern related to that game where you can put up that you're looking for folks to enter with you. There's also going to be, unfortunately for some people, there's also going to be a graveyard there for the fallen adventurers who will be posted on the wall. Speaking of that, we're going to again have an overall convention crypt board this year where any character that dies, other than from the Shadow Dark game, gets pinned to the board, and that's once again being sponsored by our friends at Pace Setter Games.
Awesome. One of the things too with the Shadow Dark, now obviously we're going to have a lot of good DMs who are going to be running that, but I believe both Kelsey and Stefan will make an appearance on that. Is that correct?
Stefan will not. Stefan's providing. Stefan is Picorni from Dwarven Forge. He's providing the terrain that, it's going to be multiple tables, representing multiple levels of the dungeon. But Kelsey is certainly going to be running portions of it. And there will be multiple GMs running during some of the heavy times to accommodate all the players that are signing up. But not only is it Kelsey, but we're going to have Professor Dungeon Master. We're going to have Mike Shea, Justin Alexander. They're going to be jumping in, Baron Durop. We're just not going to announce what the times are because we don't want people rushing the table at those times. It's like, get signed up. It's a little bit of luck of the draw. The longer you're at the table, the more likely you're gonna get thrown in with one of these celebrity GMs, and I think it's a great thing.
Me too.
Yep, I'm looking forward to trying it.
All right. Well, next week, as I mentioned, we're going to have Dimitri Del Castillo and another guest on. But mark your calendars now. November 14th, we will have Professor Dungeon Master himself on the program with us.
Oh, one thing we didn't bring up among the events is we've got the page mini campaign that I'm organizing, and looking at the event schedule, there is only one section of that dungeon that has more than 2 tickets, and almost all of the other ones are sold out. So if you want to get involved in the page mini campaign, I suggest you jump in. It's kind of weird too, because the one that has like 5 tickets is Friday at 10 a.m. I would have thought that would have been one to go quickly, but everything else is either 0, 1, or 2.
Yeah, and that's going to be great. That's in conjunction with WizKids as well. So you're going to all see some pretty cool stuff. I see DM. We've got Leo Gerald with us. That's great. We see Matt Archibald's very excited that he's going to get to see his buddy Professor DM again on the 14th. We mentioned Tomb of the Ancient War King earlier, and we've got Troy Allman from Cannibal Publishing in there. I want to give him a shout out. He helped with the old school 2D map that graces the inside of the module cover. So, huge props and thanks to Troy for that. That's good stuff, and it's one of the highlights of the printed version of the adventure in my mind. And Stan, don't put your artwork down. I thought your artwork was great on the artist board. You're not as classically trained as Jeff Easley's biological son, Chris Arneson, but we work with what we got.
All right.
Stan, by the way, will be repeating a performance he did at Game Hall. There we ran a playtest of one of the con adventures, and he sat and sketched while we played and created a whole bunch of sketches, which he's going to be sharing with the community. At Page, he's going to be doing this multiple times. So you'll have an opportunity to see your adventures caricatured by Stan.
All right. Well, we're going to let Jen take us out here, but I do want to remind people about our awesome Saturday morning flea market. And, there's still a few tables available if you want to sell your extra stuff to buy more stuff, which is all the way of gamers. So, jump on that. But Jen, why don't you take us out?
All right. Well, I hope everyone has a wonderful night, a great weekend, and a wonderful week ahead. We will see you all next week, same time, same place.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.